University of Engineering and Technology, Guna, in February 2018. Recently, he's completed his postdoc in data science at IFB Energies Nouvelles Lyon, France. He worked on the project Estimation of Industry Catalyst Lifespan using data science. He also worked as a research consultant at CL Educate Limited after completing his PhD. Currently, he is working on automated expert question answering system using NLP and machine learning for the startup QBearable. I would now request Dr. Jain to please take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, all of you. Today I am giving my session on Industry 4.0 and digital twin. Firstly, like ma'am already introduced me, so I want to just introduce something about my project in postdoc. So I worked as a postdoc research engineer in IFP Energy Novels, where IFP is a is a petrochemical company which works in oil and gas industry. So my project is based or related to oil and gas industry, where I worked for a project for estimating the industrial catalyst lifetime. As you know, in the refinery, we separate we separate multiple products, like in terms of kerosene, petrol, diesel, and other products through by the use of crude oil. So this crude oil is comes inside the reactor, and where we place the catalyst, and that catalyst have the lifespan of almost 3 to 5 years. So for the industry, it is very important to know the whole life cycle of the catalyst, because sometimes what happens, the catalyst deactivate very fast, and it deactivate early before the time of the whole deactivations. So from the last 20-25 years, industries are acquiring the data from different refineries, and the different refineries have a different capacities. Along with the capacities, the quality of the crude oil are quite different. Like in terms of the crude oil come from Middle East countries, are quite different from the crude oil that comes from the South American part. So for different crude oils, we use different types of catalyst, and it's very important for the industry, because if something which is happened early before the maturation of that particular process, the industries have a big loss, because for all these things they have to maintain the whole refinery, and at that time they have to shut down the whole refinery for a period of 2-3 months. So by using the Industry 4.0 and the digital twins models, we developed some machine learning models which helps them to predict the accurate life cycle of the catalyst by using the historical data that comes from different refineries from last 20-25 years. We also developed some model which work on the real times, which can give the right information of the deactivation stage in different phases, and also it also increase the efficiency of the refineries. So today I'm going to start with my session with Industry 4.0 and digital twins. So following are my agenda for this session: the impact of ICT in the industry, and what we mean with the Industry 4.0, and there are some examples which are related to Industry 4.0, and under which there is a cyber physical systems, how we form the cyber physical system, and also with the Industry 4.0, which is related to the internet technologies, and what is a digital twin, and why we are discussing like digital twins now, and how these digital twins being utilized. So starting with the impact of ICT, as we know, we all are from the IT domain and IT domains. So we know we started the web in around 1995, where we linked all the documents and placed in the web, where we can search these documents through the use of different search engines, as you know, the Yahoo, Netscape, and AOL, which gives us the information in real time from our computing devices. Then later there is a new platform which comes where we use we multi-link all the documents, multimedia documents, and we call that era is Web 1.0. And by this we can use more accurate, we can search more accurate documents from the web. And there are also some e-commerce websites which come come at this period where we can use the transaction and other things. And then there is a then early in 2005 we have some social media which interlink the peoples through different platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And then we form some web services which are behind these things. And then we have something which comes for the enterprises, that is all these medias are interlinked for the enterprises. And we comes on the era of app based technologies where the before that we are using the websites and other things. And then we will come up with a technology which is based on app, which is we call as Web 3.0. And now from last 5 years, we are talking about more about cyber physical media internet systems, which comes also in which comes also used in Industry 4.0, which is related to IoT, iOS, IoT. And there are multiple components which are used in Industry 4.0. We say it web A.B, but currently because for the Web 4.0 there is not a very clear definitions or standard definitions. And in upcoming year there are some future media which we don't know, but it will come in next years in the future. So basically, for the digital transformation of the industries. So overall, the goal of the whole trend is to connect machine to machine communication. So by connecting machine to machine in the operation, we use the data that is generated from the machines. And the data that is generated from the machines are used by different to understand the data. We use different models and algorithms to make better decisions and to improve. By using this data we can know that how we can make the process very improved to reduce and overall to reduce the cost and improve the customer experience. So all these trends comes in under the one umbrella, that is we in different terms we can say that industrial IoT, digital twin, industry 4.0, smart XYZ, smart city, smart grid, all these things. And the digital transformation of all the physical devices. So the Industry 4.0 era start from the earliest 19, or we can say the end of the 18th century, where we worked with the mechanical machines which are powered by water and steam. So for this era we call this era as Industry 1.0. And after that, by the innovations, we reduce the mechanical efforts, and we comes to the era where we have invented and we have do an innovation in terms of electricity, in terms of mass production of the products and the devices, which we call as Industry 2.0. And later we come with the Industrial Revolution 3.0, which start in the beginning of 17th, and where we use the microprocessor, electronic devices, and using some information technologies to make the production autonomous. And then later in the today's stage, we call this stage in between Industry 3.0 and Industry 3.4, where we use the cyber physical systems. So the phases from 1760 to 1814, we use the mechanical production in terms of railways and steam engines. And in 1870 to 1940, we have a mass production of electricity. And the products are comes like in terms of cars, motorbike, all are comes from the assembly lines. And from 1960 to 2010, we have the computers, semi-computers, mainframe computing, and personal devices. With the help of internet, we connect all these things to make the process to make the life more easy, and in terms of innovation towards new products. So for Industry 4.0, there are a lot of types of different definition are are given by different societies. So in Industry 4.0, we say that it's a collective terms of technologies and concepts of value chain organization. So these technologies and value chain organization are based on some technological concepts of cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, and Internet of Service. So it facilitates the vision of smart factory, because from the last 5 years we are focusing on to make the factory totally automatic. So we call these automation called as a smart factory. So within this modular structure, smart factory of Industry 4.0 will just create a virtual copy of the physical world, like a physical industry. We create a virtual copy of a physical factory in terms of virtual copy. So we the benefit of these smart factories is that the decisions are decentralized. So like the smart factory or the manufacturing process will be in a form of decentralization, means it will all the decisions are taken by their own. The machine will take their own decision, not a particular person will take the decision on the basis of the physical things. So over the Internet of Things, cyber physical systems communicate and cooperate with each other and in human real time. So this will give us a chance that we can communicate directly with the physical system in terms of every devices. A person can directly communicate through the medium of cyber physical systems to control the systems and see the overall picture of particular device. Will the device is working good, or will there will be a chance of failure of that particular part. So so both internally and externally we can control particularly process in terms of the value chain of particularly production line. So for all industries, like we always focus on the growth of the industry from different perspectives, but from different perspective of different countries, they coin different terms for the industry. Some of them are called smart industries, some of them call is Industry 4.0, and some of the country already planned that how their industry become in upcoming times. Like in the China, they made in China 2025, where they have lot of new innovation concepts to modernize their industry. The similar case with India is also that our prime minister started Make in India programs, where we are using different technologies, and we club these technologies in terms of different technologies to increase the production and increase the export of our product for the whole over the world. So in the today factory, what is the current scenario in the current factory? Like there is different workstation. Like there is a production line for a car manufacturer, where we have multiple workstations. The car will move from one the manufacturer of the car will move from one workstation to the workstation 4 by in a similar in a parallel manner, and then it will be transported to different it will be protected for the transport. So in the Tomorrow factory, we use a decoupled, fully flexible, and highly integrated manufacturing, where when we give a raw material to the workstation A, we can it will the factory will automatically decide that particular product will go on which workstation. So these type of smart factory will increase the efficiency of the factory, and we can produce more we make the system more productivity in terms of in terms of workforce, in terms of time saving. So in terms of Industry 4.0, how Industry 4.0 will get will Internet 4.0 will go for the internet technology, which is like Internet of Things, service, and data. So basically, we have heard about lot of things with the IoT. So IoT will provide a communicating a communication between different objects based on internet technologies. Like we have RFID, we have the barcodes, we have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. So for this, we need an particular address to identify a particular device. So we will like currently we are using the IPv6 addresses for different devices, which will help in communicating different devices. So for IoT, it means that every physical object will be equipped with some address, and it can be communicate with one object to communicate with one object to a different object. In the second, we have the internet of services. So it provides the internet based services to different processes, some as in terms of engineering, in terms of logistic, in terms of production process. So it's just like a service based added value services for the machines, for the peoples, for the products. So internet data is for all these processes, we generated a lot of data. So these data should be stored in particularly storage system, and we can analyze these data through different mediums, through different platforms, from different technologies like deep learning, machine learning, all these things. So these are we how we manage all this data in like the data comes from different processes will store in one place, and then how we can use the analytical frameworks to make them more productivity, make more productivity, and to use and to take rapid decision on the basis of these data. Some of the main example for industry 4.0, like Siemens is one of the gain for German manufacturing. So it provide a medical solutions for the knee and the hip joint replacement. So for the engineers, like if someone has the problem in their knees and hip joint, by using the Siemens software, the engineers can take rapid decision to make a artificial knee and hip joints by using their CAD software. So before that, the engineers have to take a lot of like several days to customize the need of the patient, and according to it, it will make a particularly hip make a particularly joints like artificial joint and the hip joints. But by using, like you can see in the picture, like we have some x-rays of the knees and of the knees in the software, and we convert these particular images to transform to become an artificial knees for the particular patient. Again, there is another company which is currently working for the industry 4.0 is GE, which had their own operating system, that is Predix. So Predix is basically used to connect different industrial equipment, like in particular industry, there are a lot of type of equipments, so which are connected through some sensors, and these particularly components generate lot of data. So when we connect all these components with the Predix, all the data will comes and store in the in particularly and in particularly database. So the Predix will give a new solutions for all the companies which generated lot of data from different sources. So like in some data is just like OT system, where we have the data of control process of all the devices. We have some external data in terms of like the weather conditions, in terms of human resources and all these things. So all the data are clubbed in particularly one space. So by using this data, we can monitor, we can analyze, and we can also know the event of particularly process. So somehow, if we like somehow if we need that data to build some models, like we say the digital model of particularly process or particularly product or particularly production process. So by have the data from the past, we can develop a new model on the basis of past data to analyze more accurately uh, more accurately the data to form a new model or a new industrial applications. From most of the companies are currently working on this particular concept, that they have the data in their past, and they use their past data to make a more efficient model of the model. If they develop the physical model of that one by using the data, it will cost them very high, and it is a very time consuming process. But in terms of this particular operating system, we have all the data from all the process, all the component, all the component, and we collect all the data in one place, and by using, anyone can access from the whole industries to get the information of what is currently going in particular part, in particular process, and in particular production process. So these predicts operating systems give you a helpful hand to analyze the data and know if there is some event is currently going on in the in the running system. So there is one which is there is another example for a laser technologies, so where there is a German toolmate that is Trumps, which developed a concept of social machine, where we carried out to model a particular machine, and to model a particular machines on the basis of the input given to the system. So for this, we just give a details of the product, what we want for the product. So we assign the parameters to particular product, and by using the Trump tool maker, which is one of the best one in the industry, which will give you the whole particular product in terms of accurate accurate modeling. So Industry 4.0 is basically the digital transformation of all the things which are related to industry, related to us, or we. So basically, the core capabilities of this industry transformation is basically the data and the analytical process. So it will digitize the integration of vertical and horizontal value chains. So by using mobile devices, because mobile devices generate a lot of data, Internet of Things, location-based technologies, which will use to get the real-time informations, and also with the advanced human-computer interactions, authentication and fraud detection in terms of securing the data, 3D printing, smart sensor, which is the backbone of Industry 4.0. If every object have the sensing, every device is equipped with the sensors, we get a real-time right information of particular sensor, a big data analytics, which helps to understand the data more accurately and to take the decision on the basis of big data analysis, and customer profiling, which is one of the major work in the e-commerce, where we can know what the user demand in terms of recommended system, in terms of their user behavior, and the second one is the augmented reality, where we can see the virtual reality concept, and in the cloud computing, where all the data comes in the clouds for the analysis. So what do we want to achieve with Industry 4.0? So overall, the industry want to innovate dams, and to take rapid decisions, to increase their productivity, to increase the forecasting, to decrease their machine downtime. So in terms of productivity, by properly using of resources and the process, by the help of smart energy consumption, intelligent IoTs, and real-time optimization, the industry will increase their productivity up to 5%. So second is the assets utilization, because in every industry, in every process, every production line and everything will have to be maintained for it needs some maintenance time to for the maintenance, for the repair, all these things. So by using this assessment utilization, we can reduce up to 50% of total machine downtime. And with the help of automation, and the automation, like in terms of labor, we have to improve our labor skills by using some development skills. So we can increase the productivity by increasing the knowledge of our labors. So these industry 4.0 give a hand to the workers to learn more about the processes digitally, not by the physically, digitally, that how the product is working, and if something is happened, they can take accurate decision on the basis of their knowledge. So also with the inventory, because sometimes the industry produce lot of things, but these all the things are not properly sold out in the market. So they can take a take a optimistic decision for the inventory. And with also for the quality, like with the digital quality management, with the advanced process control and statistical process, gives them a hand to reduce the cost of the product, and also to improve the quality of this one. In most of the industry, which is data driven industry, they need to forecast the things, like in terms of my project, where we have to forecast the life cycle of the catalyst. uh, if we accurately forecast the whole life cycle of the system, of the system up to 90 to 95%, it will increase the efficiency of the whole production process. So the second is the time to the market. Like if something, like for a car, if a automaker just design a car physically and they launched the particular product, it will take lot of time for the designing, and from designing to the production process to the time to launch in the market. So the industry want to reduce the time for launching a new product, and also for reducing the cost of maintenance in the industry. So what are the key part of enabling this? So currently what we are implementing for Industry 4.0. So for the key enables, these are the things that need for the communication, that is the high bandwidth communications, the sensors, the network ability, the computing power, the data analytics, storage capacity, IoT platforms and application, cloud-based processing, autonomous rovers, collaborative robots, and augmented reality. All these things are the key enablers which helps us to achieve the Industry 4.0 zero principles. So what these key enables changes towards the industry IoT within the plants, all the physical devices, all the channels are equipped with IoT, and the whole industry will become a smart factory. The edge gateway, where they can have to pass different edges. They have to communicate with different gateways. The cloud-based supervisory applications, all the data will come come to the cloud, and anyone from any place can control or supervise the application currently going on the industry. And integration between IoT and the controlling system, that is OT, and the distributed control system. The effect of these particularly changes will replicate in terms of multiplication of intelligence channel on industrial networks. So the whole network will be autonomous, and it is control network. So the deployment of cloud service, which will help in take a rapid decision, and a new form of remote monitoring and controls. Like if for the autonomous robot, as we know that there are some autonomous robots which work in the industry, but you can also hire a foreign autonomous robots to do their task by their own. Some of the approaches for the smart system in the first way, where we have a functional integration, where we started with to develop some devices, some products, or some particularly objects, and then we integrate with every particularly object will be equipped with some sensors, and these sensors helps into generate the data of the whole process, and these sensors can communicate with through the integrated physical systems. So these, when we have all the connected devices on a single line, and we get all the information, we can know the condition of particular product. we can have the health monitoring of this. We can do a remote diagnosis of the particular products, and we can also have the control capabilities to control particular products or particular value chain. So, resulting of this cyber physical system enables communication, monitoring, and control, and these can make a self-control system in terms of smart factories, smart cities, smart grids, smart logistics, smart products. So overall, the whole picture is that we have to make the systems self-dependent, and where the things can communicate, or a machine-to-machine interaction will be there, and we can have the controlling power remotely. So here is comes with the with the cyber physical system. So basically, cyber physical system is a system where there is a collaboration of computational element controlling physical entities. So CPS are the physical and engineering system whose operations are to monitor, to to coordinate, to control, and integrating by computing and communication code. So these allow us to add capabilities to physical system by merging computing and communication with physical processes. So we are just have the communication between physical and physical object with the help of sensor and the IoT to communicate directly with the cyber worlds. So there are some principles for regarding the industry 4.0. The first one is the interoperability, which is very important. So it will help in the ability of the cyber physical systems, like every piece, every assembly line, every product will equipped with the is under the cyber physical system, where we have we have an interaction between human which can communicate through the use of Internet of Things and Internet of Service. So virtualization, which is the most important, where we have a virtual copy of smart factory, which is created by linking the sensor which generate the data, and by using these sensors we can know the physical process of the virtual plant, and by the help of simulation we can know that how we can improve the process of smart factories. So the third one is the decentralization, the ability of a cyber physical system with smart factory to make the decision their own. So till now in every industries they have particularly different types of engineers and the workforce which take the decision. But in the smart factory they have the concept of decentralization, that if something goes wrong in the industry, the smart factory will take care by their own. So real-time capabilities, by using the real-time capabilities, we can have the real-time information of particular product, and by real-time information we get the real-time information of the devices, and by the help of this real-time data we can analyze the data and provide the whole scenario of the systems immediately, so we can take a rapid decision if something going wrong on the basis of real-time capability. Then service orientation, that offering of service of cyber physical systems, humans a smart factory by the Internet of Services. Then modularity is the adaptation, like in generally when we have the industry, we have different components with different assembly line and everything. If we change something in particularly pipeline, we like the adaptation is very difficult in the current scenario, because if something is like there is in the industry, like we have some components which work only with that component or with particularly that frame. But with a smart factory, if we replace some component on the individual basis, the system will adapt all the flexibility of particular systems that enable to run the smart factory. So basically, it will all impacting all the aspect of value chain in the industry, starting from manufacturing process, designing process, and controlling systems and maintenance, and also the logistics and other things. So basically, it will impact all the value chain from for a product, from starting the designing phase till the end of the production line, till the end of the complete product. So it will impact all the value chains for the whole manufacturing process. Yeah. So how they can distill the entire value chain, like from digital world to the real world, where in the starting we have have a product design. For the product design, we do multiple simulations by have the uh, by different softwares, and then after we simulate and we identify that we build the right product, we will go for the next phase where we have the product life cycle management, where we can know more about the product and its life cycle. If everything is going right, we will go for the manufacturing process, where we start to manufacture the process manufacture the product through the smart factories, and then we will move towards towards industrial process, which is totally automated. And then after have the production of the product, we will go for the life cycle and data driven services, like in terms of manufacturing of the car, where all we have lot of type of sensors which come with the car, which generate the data, and these data are stored in the server to server of the companies, where they can analyze the behavior, the performance of a particular car, and this gives them to improve the whole product by 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 analyze all the data in the real world. So there are some potential applications for this particularly industry 4.0 in terms of robot assisted production. So most of the production which are currently going is a mixture of some robotic arms, and with the help of help of human. So this will help in producing the product in the way of robot assistant base. So predictive maintenance, which is one of the major part of industry 4.0, because till now we have to do manually all the maintenance. But if we know prior that something need a maintenance of like there is some product, there is some component where we need a maintenance, and if we know the maintenance will come in some days, we can start for preparing that one. So and the additive manufacturing of complex part, like in terms of 3D printing, we will with the help of 3D printing, we can have to manufacture the complex part of used in the industries. So machine as a service, like this time we are using like if there are some industries where we can have our system work like in terms of machine to machine communication, we can hire machines for doing some task, and then like in cloud computing we use infrastructure as a service, or where we can have a computer to do our task. But in terms of machines, till now we cannot do this, but in the future the machine can be work like work as a pay per use model. Then big data drive quality control, where we have all the data from comes from different sources, different sensors. So these will help us to improve the quality and the control process or in the industries. Before that we don't have the production line simulation, but now there are some softwares like the Azure IoT, which will give us the hand, where we can also simulate the production lines and how we can make the production line more efficient. And smart supply network, where we have like in terms of electricity, we have a smart grid, where we can optimally control the electricity load by using data generated from the past processes. So what is digital twin? So digital twin, basically there are multiple definition of digital twin. The one of the definition is it's a cross domain that accurately it's a cross domain of digital model that accurately represent a product process or performance of a product or production system in the process. Some of them call as a it's a near real-time digital image of a physical object or process that helped to optimize the business performance. The another definition is a representation of a physical assets that have a level of completeness and accuracy that include context information that allows the user to understand its behavior and performance. In short, the digital twin concepts combine the idea of modeling and the IoT. Before that, we have some prototype, like if we want to develop a car, we have a prototype of the car in terms of sketches, like we are building a a building. Before that, we have a design will not connect with the internet. So the digital twin model just have a prototype of a model which have the capability to generate the data, and that can helps to, with the help of internet technology, we can communicate with this particular model. So digital twins are the virtual replica of the physical device, and it helps the data scientists to run simulation before actual device are built and deployed. In most of the cases in the industries where there is availability of the data, they form before launching a product or uh, before building a device. Firstly, they make a digital twin model of a particular product where they have all type of processes include in that particular digital model, and then they simulate the model that if the whole conditions or the controlling and the condition of particularly product or a particular device, the behavior of particular device in terms of in terms of physical way. So the major application for the digital twin technologies is it comes in the manufacturing process, in automobile industry, in aerospace, healthcare, wind farm. Before that, in the manufacturing process, there are a lot of type of digital twin technologies are used to manufacture the device in terms of 3D modeling, where before developing a physical model, we develop a virtual model uh, of a particular devices or particular product. And in automobiles, like before a lot of companies are launching the concepts car on the digital model, on a digital twin model. They have the whole replica of the real model, whole replica of the real particular car, where they can have whole the systems which work, like how the emission, how the capacity of the engine, how the performance of the particular car will behave in different weather condition, in different highways, in different working conditions. So in terms of aerospace, like there are in aerospace, the digital models are rapidly used in through different lines. Like before building a model, we build a model of an aeroplane or a or a rocket to know more about the particularly device. So similar type in the healthcare that I already discussed in terms of Siemens, where they develop a medical engineering software where they can develop rapidly the prototype, and in the final they develop a particular product through the modeling process of their software. In the wind farm, they like sometimes we like for the wind farm we have the prototype. We have to build a prototype. It will cost a very high. So we make a digital twin model for this particularly wind farms to get more information of different more information of their controlling and the process of building that particularly farm. So there are some other application of this one are the in retail industry, in infrastructure, oil and gas industry, and gas turbine. So one of the major example of this is in industrial technology in oil and gas. Like you have the real-time installation of particularly oil refinery, or not oil refinery, is a oil extracting all extraction exploration of the plant in the sea. But we have a digital twin model of the same particular physical model, which will run in a customized software, where we build the same particular physical system in a virtual space, where we can know the real time condition, the real time cost, and real time behavior of all the process which are used for implementing this particular installation in the sea. Second example is from the hydrocracking process. Like you know that in hydrocracking process in the oil and gas industries, we just transform the heavy molecules into a lighter and high value products such as gasoline, diesel, and kerosene. So these products are dependent on the quality. So these for making a good quality of the products, it depends on the external condition, the process optimization, and the catalyst selections. So for driving a new novel catalyst, their accurate prediction of crude oil properties is very important. So in my work where we develop a digital twin model for the hydrocracking process, will lies on different aspect where we define, we model some model in terms of property prediction of the crude oil, and also with the with although also with the help of different, because in particular industry you can see that we have different component which will help in to filter all these product from this particular refinery. So we develop multiple models which will work before in the a digital model for furnace. We have the reactors. So all these we have a digital model, and with the help of digital model, we for the next refinery which will be built in upcoming times, we have to simulate the whole model in a digital twin models, with all the process, all the kinetic models, and all types of information we need, and we run the whole particular refinery in a digital twin modeling, and to get a right information of the product on the basis of these processes. So the benefit of digital twin model is to improve quality and yield. It improves in terms of skill development. It increases the efficiency of the engineer, because the engineers can know prior the information of particular process or the production process of particular product. So it will reduce the overall the cycle time, and it also boosts the productivity. It will help us in the maintenance. It will help us to diagnose the failures before the failure will occur, and it optimizes the robotic operation management. Before like in current industry, we have a particularly assembly line where we have uh, pre-programmed robotic operations. So we can optimize on the basis of data, that how we can optimize the overall operation of the robotic arm, and it also reduce the operation cost of the industry. For the digital twin, how we can the constitute part of industry, like there is a physical assets or physical things which integrated with different sensors, and we with the help of these sensors we get the real-time information of all these assessment in terms of digital informations, and we developed a digital model of the physical model. And with the digital model, the past generated data of the physical model are used to train our digital model. Like in terms of, we have developed a refinery. In refinery there are multiple components, and in multiple components we generate lot of data, and these data are used to train our digital model, so that we can analyze the performance of a digital model on the basis of the physical model, and not building the physical model of a uh, physical model of particularly process. So by this we can get a real time information of the of the particular process. Like if we increase the temperature, if we increase the pressure, if we increase something else in the process, what will be the effect of the production process. So the engineers are or the research scientists are currently working on this particular model, where they just develop a prototype model of particularly object, and using the data of the physical one, they train that with the help of that data, they train the digital model, and with this digital model they can analyze the impact of different behavior of particular product in different conditions, and operating condition, and the controlling perform by the controlling methods. So digital twins have multiple variations. So how we can design a unique digital twin models? So firstly, we have to know the product, that which type of product we are going to manufacture, and what are the production assets, and what are the process needed to build the unique digital model. So firstly, we just make a 3D model for particularly product, and then after we have a process model, like we have a real-time process. So we develop in terms of a kinetic model, in terms of some mathematical model, which will represent the real physical model. So we have a process model and also the schedule, that how it will work. So on the basis, we have the data which comes from real time, in terms of safety measures, in terms of process, the environmental data, the process data, the equipment data. So all these are enabled with the IoT sensors, where we have all the data, and we have the analytical power, because without analytic power we cannot get the real information, and we cannot have we cannot do a physical simulation uh, of this particular process and or the model. So a unique digital model will combine all the things with the data, with the process and the product information and the process information, and a prototype in terms of 3D model, and in terms of analytical powers, where we can use to design a digital twin model. So why we are discussing digital twins now? So basically, for a digital model, it's just building an information model or information modeling, and it will help in digital manufacturing of particular product. And with the help of with the help of simulation technologies, we can know more about a physical object in terms of digital, and with the help of 3D scanning and programmatic. So in all our digital model, we need a data acquisition method, where with the help of industrial internet of things, we can have all the data acquisition in different sources uh, in the industries. And to analyze all these things, we use the analytical tools such as machine learning based frameworks, which can help us to get more accurate informations, and to develop some model which can help us to reduce the overall to increase the efficiency and reduce the overall cost of particular process. So some of the data acquisition process are edge device technologies and the 5G communication, which is in the future is coming to get more data with the fast and secure data. And with the analytical tools, we can also use with like all the data will come in the cloud computing in the clouds, and all the clouds are used to have the power of simulations, and also have the power of big data analytics in terms of Amazon Cloud Service, in terms of Microsoft Azure. So all these cloud companies have the powers to 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 analyze all these things in real times, and the backbone of all these things to save all the data in terms of cyber securities. So enabling an information change. So for a digital twin model, we have to build a model, connect and collect the data on the basis of our developed models, and by analyze when we have the data, we can analyze the data and execute the model. And then if something going no wrong, and we can increase the efficiency of particular model, we innovate the model, and again the process is continuously going on in the industries to have a more efficient model in terms of optimization of all the process. So how are digital twins being implemented? So basically, the manufacturing process are digitalized in terms of physical and digital. In the physical world, we have uh, we have sensor, we have accumulator, which help in control. Accumulator helps in controlling the production line, and the sensor will get a real time information of the production process. So with the sensor, we can communicate device to device interaction, and these sensor will generate the data, and the data will comes in its digital form. And the data is aggregated, and that data is aggregated and analyzed in a digital model, and with the help of analyze, we can have a real-time scenario of the whole process or the whole production process. So with the help of this production process, we can give instruction to the accelerators to do the best optimization process to to make the process more efficient. So basically, there is some digital twin conceptual architecture. Basically, in first one for the digital and with the physical process. Firstly, in the physical process, we create a physical process, and with the help of communications, we with the help of communication, we have the technologies just like RFID, we have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth, and with this technology, we can generate the data and not generate the data, we just acquire the data, and these data comes in the cloud in aggregated manner, and where we have a digital twin model, and we can analyze the data and assess, and SSD will provide in different framework, in terms of laptop, in terms of pads, and in terms of mobile. So the main of this process is to standardize and provide the security of the data and connectivity. So in particular industries, we have the conceptual information in terms of like in physical process, we have the data for different processes in terms of weather, temperature, all these things. These data comes in different data will comes from the ERP, their MES software, their CAD models, and with the sensors that will detect all the physical entities, such like of pressure, temperature, flow, and these accumulator will help us to hydraulic movement of all the things. And with the edge processing and edge security, we can integrate all these things. And by using all the terms like the integration of middleware, data injection, data lake, BEAM software, all these particularly umbrella will comes up with particularly with particular aspect that all the things are used to analyze the data, and also to get a real time insight of whole process. So an overview of getting started with digital tool. The first one is to imagine. The process is to what you want to build. You have to imagine, and also to make a digital twin model, you have to imagine and assess process opportunity for a digital twin model, and to identify what are the important process data and the area that you need. And by using this one, we have to develop a pilot model, which is a physical which is a virtual model for a physically entity. And with this one, we stabilized the pilot and mature. We use multiple simulation, all these things, multiple simulations, and using different process data. And now we are on the stage to add and remove some process uh, from a digital twin model, and then we monitor the whole process, that it will work fine, and it will help on to optimize or reduce the increase the efficiency of the process. So basically, project and the performance digital twin. So basically, there are two fields, that is the green field and the brown field. In terms of project digital twin, we have to first plan, design, and engineering the whole particularly product, and then we can when we develop the digital twin model, we also have to assess for their construction cost, their cost, and the quality of that product. And then when we build up the digital twin model, we are on the next phase, where we have to check the performance of the digital twin model in terms of operational and the maintenance cost. And if during this we need some changes, we can do a modification and modernization if something is not accurately work. And then with this one, we have the project digital twin. When we have the brownfield, when we decided, yes, that model is particularly better than the previous model, so we will go for plans to construct that particular product or particularly on the basis of in terms of modeling and simulation. Okay. So in terms of modeling simulation, hello. Okay.
Hello, Vinay sir.
Hello. Yes. I think there is a problem in the network. Now it's okay.
Okay.
So in terms of assessment cycle, where in the digital twin helps in overall assessment cycle of a product in terms of modeling and simulation, their virtual commissioning, uh, their maintenance and their fault detections. So it will help in the conversion of whole design to build and from operate to maintain. So this distributed model helps in to increase the throughput, improve the product quality. It helps in to optimize the demand and supply requirement, and it also improves the minimization of energy cost. So, uh, so how the digital model helps in the maintenance? Like in general, when we have a uh, failure of a physical device, we can have the failure start like you can see the PF curve where there is a failure start on this point, and if we have to wait, the failure will occur on this point. If we get the information in somehow like the failure can be detected here, can failure will be detected here by using our digital tweet model. So we can do a rapid decision making to resolve this issue early before the failure will occur. So in terms of the maintenance in digital twins, we are more focused on our predictive maintenance, where all the machines are all the particular components are equipped with different sensors, and these sensors generate the data, and these data can help us to know a failure before it occur. So it will provide an assessment towards the model for the maintenance. So considering for your digital twin initiative, so basically it will help on to economy of the data. It will increase the volume, fidelity, and the applications, and the collaboration of different to build, maintain, and utilize different types of processes, and is also helping data governance and also in the scalability, where we have a more data, we can analyze more data, and we can use this data to enhance the skill of our workforce. So digital twin business values have related in terms of quality. It will improve the quality, overall quality of the whole supply chain process. It will predict and detect quality trend before it occur, and it also increase the control quality if something happen in the quality issue. Warranty cost and service. It understands the current configuration of equipment in the field to able to service more efficiently. It proactivity and more accurately determine warranty and claim issue to reduce the overall warranty cost and improve customer experience. In terms of operation costs, it improves the product design and engineering chance execution. It improves the performance of manufacturing equipment and reduce the operation and process variability. In terms of record retention and utilization, because we have the digital record of all the things of all the serious parts, so we can manage it very easily, and we can also it will also help in the warranty claims. So in new product introductions and cost and lead time, so as we have all the data that is comes from different sources, we can reduce the time reduce the time of launching a new product in the market. It also reduces the overall cost to launch a product and also to produce a new product, and it better recognize long lead time component and impact the supply chain. So it will also improve the revenue growth in terms of revenue growth because the product will be are more efficient and cost effective, so it will increase the overall revenue growth. So there are many phases of digital twin where we have some example in the YouTube where some companies posted their new models for the Industry 4.0 for the GE, Philips, Ansys, and Simulation. So in the summary is basically Industry 4.0 are based on intelligent manufacturing, innovation-based manufacturing, integrated manufacturing, and technology-enabled manufacturing. So for further questions. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Participant, if you want to ask any question, then you can ask. Okay, Vinay sir.
Yes, sir.
We will send you the questions. You will answer by the mail. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vinay Kumar Jain, sir. I, Manish Kumar Sharma, on behalf of IT Department, ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad, a very heartily vote of thanks to you for gracing the event with your presence and sharing with us your finding and opinion about the digital twin.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Participant, please fill the feedback form. I am going to share it. And next session will start from 11:30 onward. Participant, please be there. I am going to share the feedback form. Dear participant, I have shared the feedback form. Please fill it. And the next session will start from 11:30 onwards. Okay, thank you.